Welcome to yet another amazing episode of the Unicorn Podcast with me, Dr. Ashwini Chube. I would like to welcome you once again. Such a joy to share this knowledge with you, to share this beautiful experiences with you. And I hope every episode takes you deeper onto your own journey. And I hope every episode also helps you understand life better. At Unicorn Insight, we blend spirituality, science of the brain, science of the mind, mindfulness. In short, we aim at combining the wisdom of the science of the West with the ancient wisdom of the East, and together we create something which can help you change your life. And hence, I call the Unicorn podcast as a life transformational podcast. Let's today look at a topic which often people talk about, which I believe is one of the most important topics as far as today's world is concerned, because I know so many people who have been telling me that of late they have been feeling very restless, very nervous, very anxious, and they say that there is no reason for it. I sometimes don't know why I'm feeling that. And this podcast, this episode is for anyone who has been feeling restless, helpless, hopeless, or afraid. Because most of the times why this has happened is because a simple thing, you're not ungrounded. You are ungrounded. So, welcome back to the Unicorn podcast by Unicorn Insights. And today we will be diving into one of the most powerful yet simple practices for emotional peace, that is grounding. So many people today feel anxious, they feel restless, they feel fearful, they feel disconnected. We overthink, we over scroll. Yes, we do that, right? And we overreact. And the reason, very often, it's simple, that is, we are ungrounded. When your energy is floating up in your head or scattered around other people's emotions, you lose your sense of safety, stability, and presence. And that makes you feel like this. But instead, when you choose to ground, you reconnect to the earth, to your body, to your inner peace. In today's episode, I'm going to take you deeper into what is grounding, what grounding really means, why it is so important, and I'll also guide you through 11 beautiful ways to ground your energy every day. Yes, and these are practical tips which you can do no matter where you live, no matter what you do, no matter how busy you are. So, before we go into those 11 steps, let us start with what is grounding. Grounding is the art of bringing your energy fully into the present moment, into your body, into the here and now. It is the energetic equivalent. Yes, friends, it is the energetic equivalent of plugging your phone into a charger. We have all the time in the world to plug our phone into the charger, but we do not have time to plug ourselves back into Mother Earth. When you ground, you plug your soul back into the power source of Mother Earth. So, this is the best way how I can explain it to anyone and everyone. Just like your phone feels lack of battery after an entire day, and your phone is now looking to charge itself with a charger, your body, your being, your soul is wanting to get itself recharged. And that is where grounding comes into picture. Grounding helps you feel calm instead of chaotic, safe instead of scared, and clear instead of confused. Also, present instead of being lost in overthinking. Without grounding, your energy floats. You feel dizzy, you feel anxious, you feel tired, or even easily influenced by others. Grounding is how you bring back your spirit and body into alignment. And I also say that is the way you start becoming yourself once again. That is the way you start taking your power back. So, now you will ask me, Ashwini, why is grounding needed? Is it compulsory to do every day? Friends, we live in a fast moving digital world. Constant notifications, screens, information overload. There is so much going on. Most of our energy stays in the upper chakras, which is the mind, imagination, and emotion. While our lower chakras, especially the root chakra, also called as the base chakra or Mooladhara, becomes neglected. That is why so many people feel unsafe, unanchored, or unable to manifest their dreams because manifestation requires grounded energy. One more reason to ground yourself. When students come to me for manifestation sessions, I often tell them that remember to ground yourself every day. And most of the time, people are so much lost in only visualizations and affirmations that they forget to ground themselves. But guess what? People who practice grounding regularly have more chances of manifesting faster than those who are ungrounded and whose energy is just floating everywhere, who feel scattered energy everywhere. When you ground, you anchor your spirit into your physical life. You reconnect to your natural rhythm, to the heartbeat of Gaia, to the heartbeat of Earth itself. Gaia is another name for Mother Earth, and she is just like a mother. How does it feel after a whole day to go back home to your mother and just be with her? That's exactly what Mother Earth does to us. Grounding isn't just a spiritual practice, it is a physiological thing because it helps you regulate your nervous system, it helps you balance your hormones and calm the body's stress response. When your energy is grounded, your mind follows and you start feeling peaceful, steady, and centered. So, are these reasons enough for you to ground every day? I would say make this a practice. In fact, every day, make sure that you do a grounding practice once when you wake up in the morning as a part of your morning routine. Or you can also do it at night before you go to bed, or you can do both times. I also tell people who are in highly stressful jobs, who are always running between deadlines, who are always aware of so much going on around them, so much drama going on around them. I tell them maybe do grounding at least 3 times a day to make sure that your energy is with you and you sit in your power. So today I'm going to share 11 powerful ways to ground yourself. But before that, I'm going to ask you, I hope you have subscribed to my channel if you're listening to this on YouTube, and if you are listening to this on the podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcast, make sure that you do subscribe to our podcast because you will get notifications whenever the next podcast comes to you. And with that, you'll always know when we are here to share some wisdom. So, today, let us do 11 powerful ways to ground yourself. Grab a paper pen, maybe a glass of water, sit, take notes, and make sure you also practice it. So, the first method of grounding, this is my personal favorite. I've learned this method from Dinah Cooper, who is one of my teachers, and as a part of the Dinah Cooper School of White Light, where I am also a teacher of Dinah Cooper School of White Light. We use grounding as one of the main methods when we facilitate workshops. And in all my workshops, I have taught this to my students. People love this method because this is the easiest and the most simple yet the most effective ways of grounding, which is visualizing strong roots growing from the soles of your feet and they go deep down into Mother Earth. And as you visualize these roots, see them anchoring you firmly into the ground, just like a majestic tree. And when you breathe, when you do this process with every breath, let the energy flow down your legs into the roots and then into core of the earth. And then that is the time you feel safe, you feel held, and if you do this practice regularly, at least twice a day, you will never feel scattered or you will never feel ungrounded. This is one of the easiest yet one of the most powerful methods. This is my go-to method whenever I'm feeling ungrounded. The second one, and this one is again a beautiful method which I read from Jim Self, one of the authors, where he spoke about grounding cord, where he says that visualize a beautiful cord. Cord is almost like a rod from the base of your spine, which goes into the earth center. Now, he also adds one more layer to it where he says that imagine a telephone wire like a coil, those old telephone wires which we used to operate in the 1980s and 90s. The telephone, the telephone cord, how does it look like? It's look like a corded wire, right? So visualize a corded wire around the rod. Now both of them, the straight rod and the corded wire, both of them, the coiled wire and the cord together, they create a combination through which you release your electromagnetic charge from your body. And visualize both of them from the last of yours. When you visualize it from your spine, from the last one of your spine, it goes down into Mother Earth, and the coiled wire around it releases any stuck emotions. So both your thoughts and emotions, which are electrical and magnetic, release any stuck energy from your energy system. I know when if you're listening for this for the first time, it may seem a little difficult, but I often practice this in my workshops, and this is yet another powerful way in which people have felt grounded and people have felt safe. This also helps you remove any discordant thoughts or any discordant energies from your aura, sending it down to be transmuted to earth. And this is something which I always tell students when they are emotional or anxious, because that can help you release and balance. It might feel a little technical to you at this moment. All you have to do is visualize that there is this cord from your spine surrounded by a telephone wire like thing, and both of them are activated, and you release the energy through them. The third one. The third one is walking bare feet on grass. I can't tell you how beautiful this is. As children, I often remember we used to go to parks and gardens with our parents, and we used to just remove our shoes and run on the grass. At that time, Mumbai had many beautiful parks, and I would say that we had more time then because we were kids, and it used to be a very usual weekend outing where parents would take us to a park close by or even to a beach which was near my house, and we would just bare feet, we would just play on the ground, we would play on either the green grass or the sand, and it used to be so amazing. So the simplest and the most natural grounding method, which is called as earthing, is when your bare feet touch grass, sand, or soils, electrons from earth neutralize the static charge in your body, and this can literally reset your nervous system. Spend 10 minutes outside, it can change your mood instantly. And if you are someone who stays close to the ocean, I would say that just walk on the sand. I just live 5 to 7 minutes from the sea, but of late I have not gone to the beach for a really long time. But I just love it, and I have beautiful memories where me, my sister, we both of us, we used to go with our parents to the beach nearby, and we used to just walk on the soil, on the sand, and sometimes to the gardens. So do this method, and if you are feeling too ungrounded, I would say that do it every day, because this will really help you. Number four, wearing grounding crystals. I know so many of you have messaged me, asked me, where do I get my crystals from? Which crystals are the right ones to wear? I will probably release another podcast on the power of crystals. But to start with, I can say if you're someone who is constantly feeling anxious or ungrounded, you can start wearing crystals like black tourmaline, red jasper, hematite, smoky quartz, which can help you stabilize your energy. You can write to us. You can just text us if you are looking for any crystals, because all over India we deliver crystals pan India. We ship pan India, and me and my team would be more than happy to share crystals, to sell crystals to you, and to help you wear them in your on your day to day life. If you find it difficult, if you find it difficult to get from us, you can also find a reliable crystal store which is in your city, or talk to any healer in your city who actually sells crystals, and you can buy those crystals and wear them. But please make sure that the crystals are authentic, and that's why I always tell people that when you buy crystals online, please make sure that they are authentic, or else you can always buy from us. Now, you could either wear them like bracelets, which we are wearing, or even anklets. You can keep them on in your pocket. You can keep them on your desk, because they act as energetic anchors, helping you to stay calm and rooted wherever you go. I don't just wear crystals, but I have crystals all over in my house. In every room, I have crystals. In my office, there are just too many crystals. And crystals make you feel grounded, because they can really take away any energy which is not serving you anymore, and ground it. Crystals work with your energy field, so crystals have the power very gently to manipulate the electromagnetic field of yours. And if you wear them for a longer time, you'll definitely start seeing the difference. I actually started wearing crystals in the COVID lockdown. Before that, I had all the theoretical experience on crystals because, of course, when I learned to be a healer Since 2014, I have known everything about crystals. I have known what crystals are for which, but I used to not wear them that much. But my teacher always tells me that they come to you when the time is right. So if you are drawn to crystals, maybe it's your time. But if you're not drawn, it's absolutely okay. Whenever is your time, they will always help you. One more powerful crystal which I keep in every room for grounding is black tourmaline. And I actually have big rocks of black tourmaline in each room because they really help me ground all my energy. The next one, dip your feet in salt water. I try and do this most of the days when just before going to sleep. I just take a small tub of water. I add some salt to it. I dip my feet in that. Maybe I'm listening to music, or you are tired after an entire day of work. When I'm done with all my clients, and when I'm done with my dinner, I just take 10 minutes to dip my feet in that salt water. I just close my eyes and I just say that, please, all energies, please help me ground myself. Salt water clears and grounds. So, apart from grounding, the salt water is also cleansing your energy. When you dip your feet in warm water and when you add either a sea salt or Himalayan salt to it, visualize all the stress and scattered energy flowing through your feet because the salt will absorb it and the water neutralizes it. People ask me which salt to use. The best salt would be Himalayan salt or sea salt. But if you do not have that, you can even use kitchen salt. So when I started my journey, honestly, I had quit my job and I had started being healer as a profession. So I did not, in the initial parts of my journey as a healer, I did not have too much of an income to actually go and buy fancy salts and everything. So I would use the kitchen salts. So I can say that even they work. But yes, of course, over the period of time, I realized that when I started using Himalayan salts or sea salts or salts with certain composition, they started making me feel better and I felt the impact even faster. But yes, of course, you can start with kitchen salt too if you have no choice or if you are running on a tight budget. But if you are someone who would like to really experiment with the salts, I can say that use any sea salt or Himalayan salt. Take the further step. We make bathing salts. We make bath salts at Unicorn Insight, which are infused with real essential oils, real herbs, and we do not use any chemicals or any toxic things because I cannot tell you about other brands how they are. I can guarantee you that our salt, which we make, the bath salt, which we make at Unicorn Insight, is all natural. And we energize it with Reiki before we sell our bottles of salt to anyone. So if you're interested, again, you can get in touch with us and my team can send it to you wherever you are in India. We are very soon going to also start shipping internationally, but for now, we are shipping all over India. We have different flavors, right? From lavender, which will help you sleep well, to the self love and many more. You can get in touch with Team Unicorn to know more about your bath salts. So take a pinch of the bath salts, put it in some warm water, dip your feet at the end of the day, and say that I release everything which no longer serves me, and I ground my energy with this exercise. The next one, the Bij mantra of root chakra is called as Lam, which connects you. Now, Sanskrit is a language of vibrations. When you chant Lam, you automatically connect to your lowest chakra, which is your Mooladhara or root chakra. There are so many chants available on YouTube where you can just play the Lam chant and you can chant along with it. What happens when you chant Lam is you feel the vibration in your pelvis, in your legs, in your in entire lower body. It activates your root chakra and grounds your energy deep into Mother Earth. The next method is going to be your favorite because it is my personal favorite too, which is connecting to Lord Ganesha. Now, chakras are not mythology, chakras are energy science. Understand this that chakras is not something which is airy fairy. They are actually energetic centers. And this knowledge was shared thousands and thousands of years ago by our ancestors. Many great sages, many great rishis. Who were rishis? Rishis were technically scientists, right? So Maharishi Patanjali has written entire entire a lot and lot more books on the power of chakras, the energy centers, and there are so many beautiful books available in Ayurveda, in Yoga, which talk about the power of chakras. So over the last 50, 100 years now, because a lot of people are awakening, the frequency of earth is rising. A lot of information has been also started. We started getting this information in English language and in other languages. But the original source of where we have written about chakras is in the ancient Sanskrit texts, including the Upanishads, the books written by Maharishi Patanjali, and by so many people. Beautiful books have been written. Now, Ganesh or Lord Ganpati is not just a lord of wisdom, but he's also the lord of taking your obstacles away. Ganpati or Ganesha is that energy who can help you put your energy and take it and just put it in your root center. And hence the Ganapati Atharva Shirsha says that Mooladharo Stitosi Nityam, which means, O Lord Ganesha, you always stay at the Mooladhara or the root chakra. The best way to help ground your energy is to connect to your root chakra. And what could be better than connecting to Lord Ganesh? Have you observed that the color of Lord Ganesh is always red? And the reason why the color of Lord Ganesh is always red is because red is also the color of Mooladhara chakra or the root chakra. And the moment you chant Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, you start your process of grounding. If you feel too ungrounded, I have told many clients and it has worked for them. Just chant Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha 108 times every day. And once you do that, that will really help you ground into the energy. Now, this mantra, understand that, like I always say, Sanskrit is a language of vibrations. When you start chanting this mantra, a different chemical change starts happening in your body, because of which all your energy starts getting grounded. This mantra is not just for grounding, it's also to remove obstacles, clear any kind of fear, and it strengthens your energetic foundation to Mother Earth. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. I hope this mantra helps you to really keep you grounded. Number 8, wear essential oils on your ankles. This was something I learned when I started studying about essential oils. And like I always say, initially I learned everything theoretically. I knew about essential oils, but in the last 2.5 years, I started actually putting essential oils. In fact, I started substituting perfumes with essential oils. And every time I put essential oils, I feel even better. So the best essential oils which you can use for grounding is, I would say, cedarwood is amazing, patchouli is amazing, agarwood, or also called as oud, is amazing. I also use peppermint. I put them on my ankles or the soles of my feet. Now, these are earthy scents and they connect your energy back to the body. The vibration pulls scattered down into, it goes down and it connects you to earth. And the vibration pull takes the scattered thoughts and it puts into presence. So you can use essential oils for on day-to-day basis. You can just take a few drops and gently massage them on your ankles, even on the soles of your feet, and it also helps you activate your Mooladhara chakra. You can also put a little bit on your Mooladhara chakra, which is at your groin. You can just take a drop of it and gently put it there. Remember, essential oils should be worn on your skin and not on clothes. So, unlike perfumes, which you use mostly on you spray on your clothes, essential oils need to touch to. I use it on my throat chakra. I use it on my heart chakra. So, use it that way for grounding. The next one. Now, this is easy. This is beautiful. But how many of us do that? Yes, I'm talking about gardening. Touch the soil, plant seeds, water your plants, spend some time in your garden. Whenever I am in Singapore, my sister has a beautiful garden in her balcony. There are some wonderful trees, wonderful plants. She has orchids, she has the tulsi, she has so many plants. And every day, whenever I'm visiting her, I sit in the balcony and I meditate there. And when I do that, I feel a strange sense of peace. It's almost like if I don't spend time with the trees and plants, I feel something is missing. So, gardening is one of the most powerful ways to feel calm and connected. So, connect to the trees, to the plants. If you have a home garden, it would be amazing. At least get some potted plants and spend some time with them. Touch the soil. One of my clients who used to feel very anxious and who was going through a postpartum depression kind of a thing, and she was, of course, taking treatment for that from her physicians. But she used to come to me for access bars almost every week. And one thing I told her, asked her, was, "What do you like doing?" And she said, I used to love to garden a lot, but now I don't have time. And I said, "You know what? I know you have a small baby, but she also had help and she had her mother who was with her." So I told her every day, at least for half an hour, spend some time with the plants. And after she started doing that, she started feeling better. As her child started growing up, she said, "It's now me and my child. We both sit in the balcony with the plants. And that is when I practice my pranayama and I practice my meditation." And now her son is close to 3-year old or 3.5-year old. And she says that, it's been so good that he's been also, he's connecting to the plants a lot more. So grounding is one of the easiest ways to working with plants. Gardening is one of the easiest ways to ground yourself. So do that more often. Touch the plants, touch the flowers, touch the seeds. Okay, now the 10th one is which I tell people that hold on to something when stressed. So when you feel panic, hold on to something, maybe a book or sometimes even a water bottle. Okay. This instantly anchors your energy and brings it back to your body. I also tell people to rub their palms and touch their face. This is one of the best ways to ground yourself. If you're like I've mentioned about essential oils, when you wear essential oils, I often tell people to just quickly take the aroma of it. So when you smell something, when you touch something, it really helps you ground your energy. In fact, there was one beautiful message which I had shared some time ago, which says that when you're anxious or stressed, see 5 things, touch 4 things, listen to 3 sounds, taste 2 things, and smell 1 thing. Or you can use it in any way. Basically, we are involving all our 5 senses together to come back to our body, and this can be one of the most powerful practice. Finally, the last one. Now, the number 11 one, it's something which our ancestors always did. And if you're an Indian girl like me, I'm sure your parents have, as a baby, they gifted you silver anklets. Yes. So I remember when both for me and my sister, when we were born, our father gifted us with beautiful silver anklets, which often a baby girl is gifted in an Indian family. And later on, as I grew up, as my the size of my ankle grew up when I grew up, I made them into the bigger ones. He again made beautiful silver anklets for me, which I cherish, which I have, and which I love wearing. So silver carries the lunar energy, right? The silver energy is the cooling energy, and it stabilizes our Ida nadi. Now we have two nadis, Ida and Pingala. We have many nadis actually, but the main two ones are Ida and Pingala. The Ida is the Chandra or the cooling nadi, which is connected to your parasympathetic nervous system, which cools you down. If you are in a fight or flight mode, um, if you connect to the Ida Nadi will help you cool down to go from the fight and flight to ease. So silver energy, the cooling energy of silver, is connected to the moon and it stabilizes emotions and it keeps your energy grounded. It connects with the earth element that helps you, stay your aura calm, your you start being close to your body, calm, composed, and steady. So I will be talking about nadis some other day probably because we have more than 72,000 nadis, but the two main are Ida and Pingala, and of course there's the Sushumna or the central channel which passes at the top of the head, and there's a very beautiful, interesting energy study about your nadis and how nadis can also help you understand when you're hungry, when you want to sleep, and when you want to just go for a jog or a run. It's very interesting, but we'll talk about that some other day. But coming back to wearing silver anklets can really help you ground because they can help you cool yourself down, remove you from the fight flight one, and it will really help you. So these are some of the most wonderful ways to ground yourself. I'm sure you've taken notes, and just do it anytime you feel ungrounded. Use this. Today, I'm also going to share a few affirmations which you can use if you're feeling ungrounded. So, take a few moments, just keep your paper pen down, close your eyes, and I'm going to share a few affirmations. You can either put both your hands on your heart, or you can simply just close your eyes and put your hands in a chi mudra, put it on your thighs, and deep breathe and say, I'm safe in my body, I'm rooted in the earth, I'm centered, calm, and connected. Energy flows through me with ease and balance. I'm safe, I'm grounded. And take a deep breath and gently open your eyes. This exercise takes, I think, just a minute or so. You can do this every day. And do not forget to deep breathe. Although I'm not written deep breathing in the 11 steps, but I would like to say that when you deep breathe, you shift to the parasympathetic nervous system, and the more you relax, the easier and the more grounded you feel. So if you are panicking, I would say that just deep breathe and say these affirmations, and it will really help you. Finally, to close this amazing podcast, I had so much fun sharing this with you. I hope you all had too. So grounding is not just a practice, it's a way of living. So don't say that I grounded this Sunday and I will do it the next Sunday, roz nahi hota. Don't say that. Grounding is not just a practice, it's a way of living. It is how you stay connected to your soul while walking in this physical world as a human being. And when you're grounded, my friends, anxiety fades, peace returns, life begins to flow effortlessly again. So, next time you feel scattered energy, you feel fearful, you feel afraid, stop, breathe, and connect back to the earth beneath you. She's always here to hold you, support you, and to remind you that you belong here. And this is your home, friends. So, always stay connected to Mother Earth. On this note, I would like to say thank you for listening to this podcast, and I hope you enjoyed listening to it. If today's episode helped you to feel a little calmer, a little centered, a little grounded, do share this with someone who needs to remember that peace begins with grounding. Friends, these little methods of energy are so powerful yet so simple and so effective that if you practice this in as a part of your day-to-day routine, it will change your life totally. So until next time, stay rooted, stay radiant, and keep shining your unicorn magic. This is Dr. Ashwini Chube of Unicorns Insights. And thank you for listening to the Unicorn Podcast by Unicorns Insight. I will see you in the next episode. Till then, bye bye.